Welcome back to Dive Twang. I'm Dave. So we got kind of an up-tempo one here today. It's B flat dominant 7, and it's just this riff. We're going to address it as kind of a one chord thing. It goes. Okay, so there's a second chord in there, that E flat major, just that triad. But it's really, I think, best explained as just being part of the riff of that. Okay, so all of our theory will center around that B flat. And really we've got just 3 pieces to that. 3 different ideas, at least of what I was doing in the intro there. Major pentatonic, minor pentatonic, and MIXOLYDIAN. Okay, so we'll kind of introduce the first 2 of those pretty quickly. And if you're not familiar with those so much, there's some diagrams. You can kind of stop the video and work on that a little bit. And just because the tempo's fast too, let me add this. You don't have to play in 8th notes and 16ths all the time. I know I did a lot of that in the intro, but minor pentatonic, major pentatonic. Okay, so find some speed of your playing that makes sense, but that you can still get in the groove there. So hopefully that helps. Also, I'm going to put this on probably on the Southern Rock playlist of lessons on this channel, and there's a lot of several other videos on there that are in different keys at different tempos. That really use these same scale ideas and things. So that whole playlist, if you like this sound and this feel, this style, definitely check that out. So that was some real quick stuff with the major pentatonic. I'll put these 2 or 3 diagrams on the drive as well in the description section. But there's that. Okay, and of course, come up there, do the same things. Now, the sweet bends and a couple of the little extra notes, right? And sometimes, or do it from 2 frets down or 1. You can hammer it or slide it. And here's another good one. So I'm just see what's going on. I'm working out in that. Just adding in some, some other notes here and there, and you can do a lot just with that sort of thing on this kind of groove and a major box like that. Okay. Not want to go too fast, but you got the diagrams, and I want to get you several ideas here, but not a tedious version of how you have to practice them, right? You figure out how to apply that to your style and language. Then minor pentatonic, which would be up here, one form of it, a very popular one. And I put a couple little extra chromatic notes in there too, and that blues scale. Stuff like that. If you practice that and you really get that under your fingers, when you speed that up, it sounds really cool. It's not that hard. I think I did something like. Just some really, really dirty, basic rock licks in there. Okay, those are some ideas starting to come together here. So, you get an interesting composition, because even if you don't figure this stuff out and compose your solo note for note, we're improvising. But when we use this map, we kind of know, after this, I'm gonna get up here and do a little, you can see ahead kind of what you're gonna be doing, and really, really keep it going. So there's a little composition right there. Do some major pentatonic, some minor, and a few of those extra little blues notes and bends. One thing too is playing this major third and hammering it. You don't have to hammer it. I do that right. Even when you're using the minor pentatonic scale, right, and that kind of leads us to this more modal sounding stuff that was mixed into that intro as well, which is B flat MIXOLYDIAN. Now, don't get overwhelmed here. We've got major pentatonic, minor pentatonic, MIXOLYDIAN. That's the last thing I'm going to throw at you as far as scales and stuff. Okay, so here's one. I'm going to do two positions of it. And here's the first one. Starting on the 6th fret, B flat. Okay, so that's a major scale sound, but with the 7th lowered one. And that's that MIXOLYDIAN. Going to overlap with your minor pentatonic, that note, right? This got a good ring, doesn't it? So that's, here's another position, same notes, just another shape. Now, I like that one because it overlaps well with the major. Pentatonic shape that we're using here. One of them, right? Okay, so I'm not going to belabor that in explanation, but you see those two things overlaid like that. That's what you really want to take away from this lesson. That's the important concept here. And it's the concept of it. You can memorize stuff and make up your own stuff later, but just knowing that you're combining those two things. So I've given you a formula for doing that with the major. Mixing that MIXOLYDIAN in there with the B flat major pentatonic and with the minor one. Now let's see what happens here. This is a real rock style that I'm, showing you here. So, just remember those things that seem simple, those simple pentatonic shapes. That's where all the good stuff's, going to happen. And then you kind of season it with some of those more modal notes and stuff, and then figure out some bends that work and things too. I don't want to throw too much at you at once. The only other thing I think that's really notable and hopefully helpful to you in that intro was at one point I just kind of got on that traveling the G string or B string kind of thing and just going up the scale on that single string to get up to the higher register, and then use really some of the same shapes. So here's an example. So say I'm down here, we're doing some major pentatonic. Now I can go. So I ended up so you can kind of check that with your ear, just going back and forth. You don't have to do, you don't have to use scales, in between to get from one position to another. You can do right. That's fine. But if you do want to do a little, you want to stretch it out there a little bit more and kind of let the band, kind of build up the bass and the drums with you and kind of tease it a little bit, Okay, that's a lot of notes to throw at you. I realize that. Try to look at them as more of, look at it more abstractly, the groups of notes, rather than just like, don't worry about picking apart every sequence there. Just get those formulas together. Oh, I'm mixing in my MIXOLYDIAN with these pentatonic scales, and then I'm mapping that out with your ear, right? I suppose you could do it visually, but it'd be really hard. If you really want, almost try to do it without looking. There's your root. 7 sound. Okay, so you could get pretty elaborate with that, but still using those straightforward concepts. Okay, I got a practice loop here for you. Check out the diagrams in the description section. Appreciate you, all of you, as always, and hope to talk to you soon.